My name's Ava Margueritte, and I'm a multidisciplinary artist. I have a BFA from OCAD University in Fine Arts Photography and a diploma from SPAO. I'm a lens-based artist that also works in drawing and painting as well as writing. A lot of my practice is gender-based, and I also examine the transition between childhood and adulthood. A big part of my practice is self-portraiture work, where I perform for the camera. I am an artist with learning disabilities. I have dyslexia, CAP-D, and ADD. So I use the camera as a way to visually document emotions that I'm unable to portray. I also like to look at fairy tales and gender stereotypes within there. I draw a lot of inspiration from different childhood films, and sometimes I recreate those to channel certain emotions while applying my own personal experiences to those images. So my book, After 1001, is about after I finished my undergrad. I'm a very structure-oriented person, so leaving a school structure and having to move back home and not really knowing how to continue art in my small hometown was a little bit frightening. All these photographs I took were from Japan. I went on a class trip. We had an exhibition in Osaka, and I photographed what was there. The way I approach my practice is often I photograph things that represent on how I feel at that time. So my images have empty spaces. Even though I was in Tokyo and Osaka, there's no people. And I worked with photo editing where I would remove words and the people there to represent how I was feeling. Often, as an artist with learning disabilities, I feel like there's not really a place. Connecting with other people is difficult for me, which is why I use the camera as a tool to relay my experiences. So on my wall, I have my image excessive and the pit of my stomach. So I decided to pair my self-portrait with a drawing that I had done. In my photograph, it is a photograph of me where I tapped into a previous experience and was able to dissociate for the photograph. And the drawing that I did kind of represents what goes on within my body during these episodes of association that I have. In my self-portraiture, I touch on the stigmas of mental health and the struggles that I feel enduring, like having someone see me from the outside and not know what's going on the inside. I think it's a big problem in society that most people experience mental health at some point in our lives, and it's difficult in settings to communicate this with our employers, our peers. I've had moments where I've experienced PTSD that has ended up me getting fired or not being able to go into work. And I think that's definitely a problem and something that needs to be addressed. And I'm lucky as an artist that I feel comfortable enough to present that with my peers and people who support me. My image excesses is a starting off point for my next project, where I'm going to be looking more into the Salem witch trials. I think it speaks volumes to this feminist movement that's going on with the Me Too. In the Salem witch trials, they would tie women up and they would throw them into a lake. And if she sunk, she wasn't a witch. And if she floated, she is a witch. So it was kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. And with this, I want to explore more costuming and femininity and gender. If you're interested in seeing more of my work, you can go to avamargueritte.format.